Good morning, everyone. D for real here. Every single American within the sound of my voice needs to watch this 15-minute clip. Everybody needs to wake the hell up. Share this with everyone you know. Thanks. Talk to y'all soon.
What comes to your mind first? What are you seeing that resembles maybe the beginning of what happened in North Korea here in the United States?
There are too many, but let's begin with a few. One is attacking individuality. It's now America becoming more of attacking that. It's all about collective guilt in America. As I said, my son is half white. They say he's privileged and he's guilty. He did not choose to be white. Nobody in America today alive owns a slave. Nobody ever should feel guilty, and nobody is privileged because of their ancestors. America using race to divide people and making each other hate each other. And I think that's very heartbreaking. They are using exact same tactic to divide North Korean people. They are using the same tactic here. Second is meritocracy. In North Korea, it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how hard you want to work. It's all about, in America, here, equity, right? Are you a person of color? Are you a sexual minority? And companies have quotas. Universities have quotas. Literally, university is the place where you try to train you to be competent, giving you the best skill you can. It's not about that, it's your skin color. They have different skin quotas on Harvard, Columbia, based on test scores. More than 70% people at Harvard should be Asians. But no, they only accepted over 11% of them Asians each year because of skin color. So that's heartbreaking, because how we get better as a society, promoting competition and competence.
Yeah.
We need to appreciate that people's hard work. When somebody told me about justice in South Korea, I never heard about justice was. I asked them, like, what is justice? And this person said to me, in South Korea, if you work hard, you're going to get rewarded for that in South Korea, because that is justice. That's why I work so hard. Now in America, hard work means less and less, because it's all about the diversity of inclusion, the quota, equity, and that destroys civilization. We have tried that. And nobody knows how to build anything. In North Korea, if your father is a king, like Kim Jong-un, he becomes a leader. If your father was a farmer, you become a farmer, right? And you cannot rise. And I don't think discriminating marriage is any good thing. It's a very dangerous path that we are digging into. And people do that. And not only that, like at Columbia, they attack science. They said that math is racist. And this is the very first lesson that I learned in North Korean classroom. My teacher asked me one day, what is 1 + 1? I said 2, and she said wrong. Because my dear leader discovered at a young age, adding 1 drop of water to another drop of water, it becomes bigger one. It doesn't become 2. That's how he proved that math was made up by white men.
Interesting.
Now in America, they say the same thing. The math is made up. Gender is made up. Gender is a social construct that was made up by white men to control the minority. And I'm a woman. I can never be a man. Like, woman is a woman. You have a uterus. You make eggs. You have different genetics. And now me saying this, that I argued with my professor one day, I can never be a man, and she said, you are brainwashed. And if it's a science, you gotta debate that. You cannot question the science in Korean America right now. Then that's the end of progress. If you cannot challenge the science, then there's no progress. And if no progress means you are getting destroyed. That's a very scary path that we're getting into.
Yeah.
So all these attacks, and also about the same thing that my teachers were telling me, how the most important thing is my dear leader, not my parents. Now our children at school learning that our parents are not safe. because they are bigots. They're never gonna understand you, right? They tell you that your parents are not safe space. If they don't accept who you are, legitimize everything that you feel, you gotta run away from them. We try to destroy families, get that tie away, and destroy the state, destroy the institutions that does not have your best interest. And seeing those family bonds is getting destroyed in America every day. And your child is not yours anymore, right? They go to school, they learn that all the problems in the world right now we have is because of white men, because of greedy capitalism. And I asked them, like, without capitalism, these kids at Columbia wearing like few $100 yoga pants, under green juice detox because they are eating too much good food, in their hand MacBook and internet and that MacBook telling me how horrible capitalism is. I mean, without capitalism, they would not have any of that. They would not be able to sit in the room where there's air conditioning in, there's electricity, there's internet to learn the material. And they learn to hate capitalism. And the professor said that the only solution to all these problems that we have is a communist revolution.
What is it like for you to sit there and listen to that shit?
I initially thought, like, did I go back to North Korean classroom? Because it was identical. How on earth, after all that my journey to be free, I come to sit in the classroom and learn the same thing that I learned in North Korean classroom? How is this possible? And how are we okay with that? Because we know what happens. If we follow those ideologies, we're going to become like North Korea. That ideology drove North Korea, China, Soviet Union. Every country tried to work with that ideology. It brought death to millions of human beings. Nothing has been more dangerous than this ideology of collectivism and communism and equity. And our politicians, our vice president, our president, talk about how important to fight for equity every day. And equity is an evil ideology. This is a complete evil. And if you say that now you're a right wing, like a bigot, I'm a CIA agent. They tell me I am trained by CIA to tell this. I'm like, where is the CIA? Why are they not calling me, right? And they say, oh, you are brainwashed by Fox News. I'm like, I came here in America to not knowing what Fox News is. I did not know what conservative or like liberal was when I was escaping. I had no agenda. I had no idea what the word was. Just I come here, I recognize the patterns that I see now and pointing that out now that I'm the spy. That's how they show you down and kill your character.
It's very interesting how many different nationalities or different immigrants are coming here and they're starting to see the writing on the wall. You hear it from Venezuelans, you hear it from Cubans, you hear it from Chinese,
Iranians,
you hear it from Iranians, you hear it from North Koreans, and do you feel like you're making headway in your mission statement by bringing this stuff to light? Do you think people are paying attention?
To me, is when I do this work, I was really shocked during the pandemic. I thought I brought my son. The best thing I have done too was giving him the American passport, giving him this free country. Unfortunately, pandemic just began as soon as he becomes a toddler learning how to walk. Pandemic sets in Chicago. I cannot afford. I have to send him to daycare to work. At daycare, he was forced to wear a mask 8 hours a day up here. And they let the street clubs open next door. Adults can go get drugs and high and do whatever thing they want in the street clubs. Toddler who just barely had to walk at 2 have to wear a mask up here 8 hours a day. There's nothing I could do about that. And then people saw me, some mothers in his playgroup saw me that I was, I guess, classical liberal, told to their nanny that don't play with my son because of me. And to me, it's not about people are waking up or not. I have no option because this country is not that truly free anymore. During the pandemic, it was not a science. It was a madness. I was robbed on the street in Chicago in front of my son by black women. In the daylight, broad light, this girl was punching me and took my wallet out. And I was trying to call the cop on these thieves. And people surrounding me, looking at me, screaming at me. Why are you doing this? You're a racist. Why are you doing this? Why are you... Because I was trying to call the cops on these thieves. That I'm the problem. Because they can never be oppressed, right? Because of their skin color.
Mm-hmm.
I don't deserve justice. I don't deserve compassion because of my skin color in America. I mean, this is another side of madness. This is another side of injustice. Because I'm not a black, I don't deserve to be protected by the public. I don't deserve to call the cops and get help from them. And I think this is a thing, like, people don't understand what the world would be like without America. When I was...
Just want to stop it here. This is Shawn Ryan. His podcast, amazing channel, and shout out to him. This is a small snippet of the whole 2.5 hours, but this really hit me hard when I saw this. It didn't make me feel very well, but it also it was like a slap in the face too, in a way. It kind of woke me up, even though I was already awoken, at least I thought. But hearing it from this amazing woman right here just puts it into a different light, different perspective. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Escaping from North Korea, even that darkness, I had a place to run to. I had hope. I can escape to freedom. I mean, if America falls down, where do we escape? No place to go.
We don't.
This is the last hope for humanity. This is the last hope for me. And this is the only hope for my son. No matter people don't wake up, it doesn't matter, I have to fight. Because I know if we keep going this path of this equity bullshit, we are gonna end up like North Korea. And already, like, it was so shocking to me. Americans were asking me, are North Koreans or stupid or something? Why don't they just start a revolution? Right? And I'm like, so let me ask you, like, currently now in America, you stand up is costing your job, your livelihood, and your reputation. But in North Korea, it costs 3 generations of your children's, your family's life.
Your life, your kid's life,
your parents'
and your grandkids' life.
Yeah. And then in America, even the price is not that much. People are cowards. They go to corporation. They follow the diversity training. They follow all this nonsense. They don't even know what that means.
They do as they're told.
They do as they're following shit. Like, all these people, if I was alive at the time of the Holocaust, I would have saved Anne Frank. I would be the hero of saving all these people. I'm telling them, yeah, there are 300,000 of North Korean women are going through modern day Holocaust. What are you doing about it? Nothing. Watching their Netflix. So the hypocrisy of these people. But you should, I mean, that's the thing. There's no alternative other than keep fighting to me. So I think that's what I'm trying to convey to American people. It's not an option to fight or not. We have to do this. If we don't do this, if we don't protect our freedom, who's gonna do it for us? You know, I was always saying it's important to fight for animals' rights. There are so many of my friends in New York City fight for climate change, fight for little ducks, fight against Canada goose, fighting for dolphins. And to me, they always ask me, like, why are you fighting for human rights? And people ask, like, why do I have to care about human rights? We don't ever ask, why do you have to care about puppies, right? Somehow, when you fight for human rights, you always have to tell them why you fight for it. Because we are the only ones can fight for human rights. Dogs will not fight for us. Machines will not fight for us. We are the only ones can fight for our rights as human beings.
Yeah.
And somehow, that is not somehow automatically understandable thing to them. That is somehow is a luxury that we should do. We can only afford it when we can.
I think what you're saying is a mass population of people who have had it very easy for a very long time.
Yeah.
They don't understand. It's like similar but completely different. It's similar to the mindset in North Korea. They can't imagine what freedom is like. They have no idea what they're missing out on, in life. And then, turn the tables and come to America, and Americans, most of them, cannot fathom what a life in North Korea would be like, or what a life in Venezuela or Cuba or Russia or Iran. They cannot. It doesn't even compute. Because if it did, then we wouldn't be seeing the shit that we're seeing right now. And I don't know. The divide has become so strong that I don't know how to bring this stuff to light. It's people like you that have to bring it to light. And I think the hardest part of what you have to do is you have to bring the story to two different sides of this country.
Yeah.
You have to bring it to the conservative side. You have to bring it to the liberal side, and in hope to God that people are listening. Do you feel like people are listening?
It's interesting. When I was with my first book, I had a media training by the publisher, and they gave me training not to talk about anything. Like, you remember, I came to America first time, and somebody asked me, like, what do you think about owning a gun? I said, that is the most empowering thing I've ever heard. Imagine if North Korean people had guns. They're not gonna let them come execute your mom or your children. They're gonna shoot them back, even if it doesn't matter. You're gonna get killed anyway. If we had guns, governments are gonna kill all of us? Then who they're gonna rule over, right? It makes no sense for them to kill all of their people. So there's no country ever can do that to their citizens if the citizens have a right to defend themselves. It was about that. I was like, of course we should defend that right. It's the most important right I can ever see as a free individual. Keep that liberty. And they were like, okay, what do you like to read? It's like, I like to read John Stuart, like Mill's like On Liberty and Bastiat's The Law. And they were like, okay, but just don't talk about that in public. Because before even you start your fight for Northern people, they're gonna brand you as a conservative right-wing conspiracy theorist. So I had to avoid that for a long time. I did not talk about that. I only talked about it when I was seeing the pandemic. How
I believe she came to America in 2014 or so, like 19 years old. Just amazing story. You got to watch the whole podcast, but this is for all the retards out here in America. Half of America, not everyone, but at least half of you all.
I was powerless raising my son in Chicago. There's nothing I do to making no sense mask mandate on my kid. There's nothing I could do. They were forcing him to do it. I mean, what can I do? There's nothing I could do. Even though children are safe, and they would open the dog parks. And then my son, the children's playground is closed in the hot summer day in Chicago, where the sun hits the playground. It's sanitized at all. And I was like, dogs have more rights than my child right now. Dogs can go dog parks and play and run around. My child, because he's a human child, he cannot go to playground and play together. And I would feel so powerless at the time. And I was like, I'm not gonna repeat the history. I'm not gonna be like my grandmother, gonna be complying with this control. And when it comes to me, I did not know even that I was oppressed. and I'm gonna fight everything I have.
I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Love y'all. Talk to you soon.